Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Walmart out at Prosper, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video, as it definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. You can see that it is a late afternoon out in Prosper, Texas, and we'll be going to Walmart. If you haven't already known, Dallas, Fort Worth area ended up getting a pretty bad snowstorm, and this is pretty much the after effects. This is day 2 of the snowstorm, so you can see that a lot of the snow has already started to melt. Thankfully it is, because it has made travel very challenging for those that live out in the Dallas Fort Worth area. We're not really used to this type of weather, so sometimes whenever you get that snow, everything pretty much shuts down except for some of these retail big box store places like Walmart, Target, Lowe's, Home Depot. I believe that they did stay open, so thankfully all of the workers out there did make it home safely and were just available for the community. But as you can see right here, there is still quite a bit of snow, but we're going to check to see if this Walmart actually has quite a bit of indoor tropical plants. You already know that I've been going to pretty much all of the DFW Walmarts to see if they have those rare and uncommon philodendron by Growers Bench, as well as the Monstera Thai Constellation. So if you're looking for a variegated Monstera, such as the Monstera Thai Constellation, definitely check out your Walmart, local Walmart. So plant foldies, we have just gone into the indoor section of the plants at this Walmart, and you can see we've got a table of houseplants, and we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of detail on some of the plants that they have available here. So we're going to be looking at some of these blooming anthuriums here. These are for $24.47 in, I believe, 6-inch or 8-inch planters. Really nice value for the plants, and obviously the blooms are really nice. I love the color, but I'm actually a bigger fan of the leaf shape. Now, I do have a couple of anthuriums that I've gotten from overseas, specifically from Green Spaces ID, and I have been collecting anthuriums. But as far as the common anthurium, and you can look at the price right over here, you can find these blooming anthuriums at a big box store like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, and even grocery stores. These are easy to care for plants. This is basically the introduction to anthuriums. Now, I know a lot of people may actually look at these anthuriums and not be as excited as some of the other anthuriums that you can see. And actually, I've gotten more exposed to some of the anthuriums, like the different types of anthuriums, like the Anthurium clavinariums and all of these other hybrids. But the blooming anthurium, it's still a basic plant, but it's an easy to care for plant. It is a plant that you can readily find at a big box store like Walmart. And you know, as far as these plants, especially these blooming anthuriums, they do come in many varieties. There are many different types of colors. I've seen the black blooms, for instance, but there is one particular one that I'm really interested in getting. It's called the Anthurium shibori, which is basically a variegated anthurium bloom. I really love the look of that. And you can see, as far as the flower is actually the yellow part of that colorful bloom. It's actually that, and not actually the color of that flower. So you can see it's really an interesting plant. Now, as far as the care tips for this, you want to give it bright indirect light, water it when the soil is completely dry, and you should be good to go. This is a forgiving plant as well, because I've noticed that even if you give it bouts of drought where you're not watering it as consistently, it will still do well for you. So as far as these anthuriums, if you're going to ask me where you will find the most inexpensive ones that you will actually save and get a good budget for, that would be the anthuriums that you can find at Walmart. I know they're basically marketed as a plant that you could put ice cubes on. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I would recommend watering them and making sure the soil substrate is completely drenched with water, and then waiting for it to completely dry whenever you water it again. And then you can see right here, pineapple bromeliad. So bromeliads come from many different types of colors, shapes, and sizes. This one is the pineapple bromeliad, and actually pineapples, as far as the fruit, is actually part of the bromeliad family. It does have some simple care, bright indirect light as well, and just make sure that you are watering it when the soil is completely dry. Those are the simple care tips for that. And these ones are for $19.97. These are also grower bench plants. And as far as grower bench plants, I really love the fact that they have all of these plants readily available at Walmart. Walmarts and in the Dallas-Fort Worth area have been restocked. And you can see right here, we're going to look at the Philodendron Pink Princess. And I remember finding Philodendron Pink Princess by Growers Bench around this time last year in 2024. There were many uncommon philodendrons that were released, specifically the Philodendron Pink Princess. There was a bunch of like fancy Alocasia, and you can see right here for $19.97, we've got this Philodendron Pink Princess in a 5-inch planter by Growers Bench. And as far as the Philodendron Pink Princess, as I've stated in many of my videos, my shopping videos for plants, you want to be a little bit more selective about the variegation that you find in a Philodendron Pink Princess, because the variegation is heavily influenced by the plant's initial genetics. So if you find a Philodendron Pink Princess that is highly variegated, it's most likely going to push out highly variegated leaves. If you find a Philodendron Pink Princess that has very minimal variegation, it will only push out that very minimal variegation or no variegation at all. So as far as being selective about the Philodendron Pink Princess, it is okay to do that because Philodendron Pink Princess are readily available at big box stores like Walmart, Lowe's, or Home Depot. I would suggest finding the Philodendron Pink Princess Galaxy Marble, which has some really nice speckling and sectoral variegation. I mean, these ones right here don't really have high pink variegation, but I will give this philodendron credit, at least the ones I'm seeing right here. If you like dark foliage plants, especially the stems, definitely purchase this plant for $19.97 in a 5-inch planter. It is not bad at all. What I will say though about Growers Bench plants, especially plants at Walmart, if you wait long enough and these plants don't necessarily sell, the vendors will put them on clearance. I've been able to buy a Philodendron Pink Princess as low as $5 before at Walmart, so I'm not always running out to get the Philodendron Pink Princess. It is a plant though that I would consider having multiples of. That's a plant that I would consider having multiples of. I actually have multiples of Philodendron Pink Princess because I love pink variegation, pink foliage, pink planters, anything pink. I would even go out and venture to say that one of my favorite colors is pink. It's a very nice, bright, happy color. And as you can see right over here, we do have several Philodendron Pink Princess. Now, as far as Philodendron Pink Princess, again, bright indirect light. Make sure you're watering the soil when it is about 60 to 50% dry, so about an inch or so down into the soil. Make sure you're watering it completely. Now, as far as Philodendron Pink Princess, again, lighting conditions to get the best variegation, or at least not the best variegation, because the variegation is really influenced by the initial genetics of the plant. But as far as just getting good growth for the plant, you want to make sure you're giving it quite a bit of light, and make sure that you are providing it with some type of like support for it to climb up a pole, a moss pole, some type of trellis, for it to get the leaves to get pretty large as well. So as far as the Philodendron Pink Princess, let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you own one or what you like about the Philodendron Pink Princess, because I am a fan, and then I'm still a huge fan of these blooming Anthuriums. And you can see $24.97 for an 8-inch planter of these Anthuriums. I do like the blooms, but more so I like the waxy texture of the leaves and even the leaf shape. It's a gorgeous plant, and this is an easy to care for plant. All you have to do is make sure you are staying on top of the watering consistently, and I guess if you want to provide it with a little bit higher humidity levels. Now, this particular Anthurium right here is not as finicky as some of the other Anthuriums. You can see that this one is in bloom, and it is so beautiful. There are so many different varieties of the blooming Anthuriums. I am curious to see that if it is possible to cross breed some of these blooming Anthuriums with some of the more rare or uncommon Anthuriums Anthurium varieties. Leave it in the comment section if you are a huge fan of Anthuriums, if you own Anthuriums, and what your plant insights are. You already know that I am admiring that really nice red color and the red blooms on this particular Anthurium, and even the leaves are perfect. For $24.97, that is a really nice plant price. I believe that the price is right, and if you are going to go shopping, I would definitely recommend shopping at Walmart if your Walmart is definitely getting a bunch of these plant restocks. Maybe later down the line, maybe later this year, I may end up buying some blooming Anthuriums. I have two. One was super neglected because I was trying to grow it in semi-hydroponics and I just never filled up the water reservoir. And the other one was growing in straight hydroponics where it was in a bowl, but the bowl dried out completely and I never replenished it with water. And basically the plant went to plant heaven. And you know, that's the thing about having a lot of houseplants is if you have a lot of houseplants, sometimes you are not able to give every single plant the amount of care that it requires. And that's why, for me, at least, the trend for the new year as far as collecting plants and buying houseplants is to keep it at a minimal, to downsize your plants, to be a little bit more selective and intentional with the types of plants you're bringing in your plant collection, to be a little bit more mindful whenever you are plant propagating on whether you necessarily have to reproduce and propagate plants or to just keep a plant nice and full and lush. So a couple of my insights in terms of just the new year, you know, it is going on week 2, January, 2025. And you can see that the Walmarts at least are getting some of these restocks. And I really love that. I love the fact that I'm able to go to a big box store even after a winter storm to film content because I love the process. I appreciate those that actually give me the time and space to allow myself to talk about plants, especially with the same passion as most of you are. I love plants as well. They bring me so much joy, but to have a community such as the Grow Folds Plant Foldy community to congregate during the live premiere chats, for us to have that open dialogue in the comment section, it is really inspiring and I am grateful to each and every one of y'all. But to go back to the plants again, you can see that Walmart has so many different types of orchids. These are for $17.94. These are the Philodendron orchids. Now, as far as the Philodendron orchids, their blooms will last for a good month and a half to 2 months. They actually thrive with more so neglect. And what I mean by neglect is you don't really want to water their substrate often. You want to keep them more so on the drier side. If you're going to repot a Philodendron orchid, I would definitely use orchid bark substrate, and I would not repot the plant while it's still in bloom because it's going to put the plant in shock and the blooms may end up wilting prematurely. Now, as far as these large foliage plants by Costa Farms, you can see this is a Dieffenbachia for $24.97 in a 10-inch planter. Really love the light foliage. I think it's amazing. And what I also love is the just the light foliage for sure, and just the size of it for $24.97 in a 10-inch planter. That is a really good plant price. It makes you want to go shopping. It makes you want to go shopping at Walmart because Walmart has some really good value added deals in terms of just the plants. And I love the fact that these Costa Farm plants are readily available and very much so cost effective. That's one of the advantages of going to a big box store, is sometimes you will find really good value, really good plant pricing. And so I love taking you guys on these plant shopping videos because then you are able to see what is currently in the market, specifically in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now you can see there's a Dieffenbachia on the very right, and then we also have a Dracaena. I believe this is a Dracaena Dorado. Not 100% sure, but this one is for $19.97 in a 10-inch planter. This one is an easy to care for plant. I love green plants, and I do believe that green plants need to be the house plant trend for the new year for 2025. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Like I said, again, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. And as far as just the like or thumbs up button, please make sure you're you're pressing that button. It definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. Now, if you're noticing at this Walmart is not nearly as restocked or full. I would assume that in the next week or two after the snow has gone in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, that they will get more plant restock. So you already know, plant foldies, you will be the first to see whether they have some more new plants or if this area gets a little bit more full. Now, Philodendron Narrow Escape for $24.97. It makes me want to purchase this plant, but the only thing about this is it is an 10-inch planter, so it's already a large foliage plant. I really have to be mindful with the space I have for my houseplant collection. Like I said, again, I have a better mindset, a better disposition with my plant collection, because at some point during the holiday season, I was already feeling plant burnout. I was debating on whether I should continue to make plant shopping videos, whether to continue YouTube, because balancing YouTube, balancing plant care, and then also balancing my job and just everyday life, it started to get a little bit overwhelming. But I was able to figure it out. And the biggest solution in terms of like getting out of plant burnout or preventing yourself from plant burnout is to really take your time and make sure that you're covering your bases in terms of self-care, whether it's taking a break. So you already know, plant foldies, that as consistent as I want to be about doing plant shopping videos, or at least being able to make content where I am literally talking directly to you, there were times in the holiday season, there were times last week or 2 weeks ago where I literally decided I wasn't going to upload a video and I wasn't going to premiere a video or feel the pressure to. And I felt okay with it. I was okay with that decision. And it did a whole lot of good for me, because whenever I did go out to film beautiful plants like we're looking at right now, I was more energized. I was more inspired. I felt like it wasn't necessarily a chore. I felt like it was more of a hobby, something that I wanted to share with the plant folding community. So just know that as I do these plant shopping videos, as I go shopping for plants, you will get all of the insight. I will talk my way through all of the plants, and sometimes I may not get into the plants. I will just talk to you directly. But that's really what I want to do with my channel. I want to be as authentic. I want to be able to be myself. And even if I am faceless on YouTube, where you're not necessarily seeing my face, hopefully you still enjoy the process, because I've had some pretty negative commentary about why I haven't shared my face. People have made assumptions, and truthfully, it's because I want to separate my personal life, my personal disposition with life from social media. Some people argue that, that if I'm already posting public content, then I should be able to make myself public. I disagree. I feel like social media, you can still have controls about what you want to share with the general world, because at the end of the day, you're putting yourself out there to a lot of people that, number one, you've never met. Number two, it's in a public forum. And I feel like there has to be some type of boundaries that we set for ourselves when it comes to social media. So I did want to comment on that a little bit, just because, again, these shopping videos is really another way for me to utilize the platform to just utilize this place as more of like a personal blog as well. But going back to the plants, I am excited to pick up a bunch of these Philodendron silver swords. This is one of my favorite plants because I really love that silver metallic shine on this leaf. It's a very classic plant, and it is only for $19.97. So if you're thinking about an easy to care for plant, a plant that is a little bit more uncommon and has a little bit more character, you can get a Philodendron silver sword, or better yet, get this Grower's Bench Philodendron Campi. Beautiful philodendron. I remember first seeing this last year. There wasn't nearly as many numbers in terms of the Philodendron Campi, but I am excited that I was able to see that it's a little bit more readily available in the new year for 2025. And again, I'm picking up another Philodendron silver sword. Here's the thing about the Philodendron silver sword that you need to remember. It does like to climb up a totem pole, a moss pole, or some type of plank in order for it to really mature and give you larger leaves. The more bright indirect light you give it, the better silver grayish tone you'll get out of the leaves. And as far as plant propagation, you can take cuttings in between nodes and actually water propagate them. I do believe that water propagation, when it comes to like philodendrons, you've got a really high success rate versus just propagating them, you know, taking cuttings and sticking them directly in the soil. I would say watering, you know, putting them in water and propagating them through water propagation is probably the higher success rate when it comes to propagating any of those philodendron. Now over here is a Philodendron Paraiso Verde for $19.97. You can see that it's a pretty large plant, and what I've noticed is with the Philodendron Paraiso Verde, you can see that it definitely needs a stake, some type of totem pole or moss pole to really support it. You can see that it is a little bit more leggy in that sense. So you want to make sure that you are giving it some type of support in order for this plant to actually mature, in order for this plant to really show its maximum potential when it comes to the beauty of this plant. In terms of the variegation for the Philodendron Paraiso Verde, I would say that the variegation is not necessarily influenced by the amount of light you provided. It is actually influenced by the climate, whether it's got a warmer temperature. Warmer temperatures will help push better variegation for the Paraiso Verde, which is really an interesting character when it comes to variegation, because oftentimes whenever you are looking for a variegated plant, typically the variegated plant requires a little bit more bright indirect light, or better yet, that particular plant is genetically disposed to give you either higher variegation or minimal variegation. Now, as far as these bromeliads, these are for $14.97. Now, this one is a beautiful red one. Notice the bloom. It's absolutely stunning. And as far as like bromeliads, they do come in many different shapes, sizes, varieties, colors. And you can see right here, these are beautiful blooms. And I love the fact that if you're looking to save money on plants, I would recommend shopping at Walmart. I mean, Walmart really has cost-effective plant pricing in general. They've got some great planters for a really good value. And in terms of just the plants as well, the fact that the Dallas-Fort Worth Walmarts are starting to get restocked with all of these uncommon plants such as the Monstera Thai Constellation, those philodendrons by Growers Bench, the Alocasias as well. Why would you not want to go to Walmart? And I would ask all of the plant foldies that are watching this video today, whether your Walmarts actually carry a really good selection of houseplants. What plants are you looking to see released in a big box store? Please leave that in the comment section below. I really love the engagement that you guys give me. And just know, if you leave a comment in the comment section for this video or any of my past or future videos, know that I will always respond to you one way or the other. Now, as far as these Alocasias, they look a little bit sad. Some of them have a little bit of damage, but this Alocasia alzanii, gorgeous Alocasia. It's very similar looking to the Alocasia cuprea, which, you know, for a while after I took my Alocasia cuprea from soil substrate and actually converted it into lechuza pond, it has taken a while for it to acclimate in its new substrate, but I am really happy that it's been able to push out some new leaves. The first couple of leaves from the plant, when I actually converted them to semi-hydro, it wasn't the most successful in the fact that it lost its leaves, but you can see both Alocasias, the Alocasia Milo Light, the Alocasia alzanii, gorgeous plants. I would just say for Alocasia, they are a little bit challenging in the fact that I don't necessarily believe they are beginner plants, because they do require more consistent watering as well as humidity and bright indirect light. So lots of factors to think about if you're going to go ahead and get one of those types of plants. Now, I'm picking up a Pachira aquatica or a money tree plant for $14.97 in a 5-inch planter. And as far as this plant is a plant that is readily available. I do think it is overlooked. I do think that only people during the Chinese New Year season would really want to buy Pachira aquatica or the money tree plant. I definitely want to get one, but I prefer the stump version versus the braided form. And you can see right here, I already knew Monstera Thai Constellation was going to be available at this Walmart out in Prosper, Texas. Look at how gorgeous that variegation is on this particular Monstera Thai Constellation. And to me, it's just really inspiring to see that Growers Bench as well as Wild Interiors curated edition will sell these plants for $27.97. And this was pretty much love at first sight. I do think that I'm going to purchase this particular Monstera Thai Constellation. Wait till the very end of the video because I will ask which Monstera Thai Constellation I need to go ahead and purchase. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up all of the different types of Monstera Thai Constellations and have you guys look at the plants. Hopefully you would admire the gorgeous speckling on the variegation. Now, as far as care tips for Monstera Thai Constellation, number one, you want to make sure that Monstera Thai Constellation is not overwatered. So I would wait for the soil to dry out completely and then give it a really good soak. Number two, you want to give this a bright indirect light situation. Now, if you aren't able to give it the best bright indirect light, it can tolerate some lower light conditions, but just know that some of that sectoral variegation may be influenced by the lack of light, so you may not get nearly as much variegation from the Monstera Thai Constellation. So as far as this plant, again, $27 or $29.97 for a 5-inch planter. You can see that this one is actually pushing out a new leaf. And as far as the Monstera Thai Constellation, I know that it is available at a big box store like Walmart, so you can consider this to be somewhat of a common plant. I don't think it's necessarily a common plant. I am concerned though, as Walmarts are getting more Monstera Thai Constellations, I do think that it is still a trending plant. I hope that every single Monstera Thai Constellation is sold, or if it's not sold, I would hope that the vendors, the Growers Bench vendors, would go to the Walmarts and mark these Monstera Thai Constellations further down. That way they can kind of push these plants to more plant lovers like yourself. I do think that $29.97 is not a bad price at all. And then in terms of the Monstera Thai Constellation, just know that if you're not following me on Instagram, which is at Growfold, I will be posting an Instagram reel featuring the Monstera Thai Constellation that I will be giving out as a free plant. And I will tell you this, as far as free plants, everybody loves free plants. That is one way to acquire a free plant, is through participating in my Instagram Reels free plant Monstera giveaway. So definitely check that out when it is available. But for now, I'm going to keep picking up some of these Monstera Thai Constellations. Please leave it in the comment section again if you have any insights about the Monstera Thai Constellation, or let me know through the timestamp which Monstera Thai Constellation you would definitely purchase from this plant shopping video. It is a little bit challenging in terms of just getting the right Monstera Thai Constellation. As far as Monstera Thai Constellation, the things that you need to watch out for plant pests is it is susceptible through thrifts. That's probably the most challenging plant pest to deal with, is thrifts, because it really does attack your plant to the point where you didn't even realize it was sick until it is almost too late. If you see yellowing on the undersides of the leaves or brown tips, you might want to, number one, check if the roots are overwatered, or number two, check if it has any type of plant pest. Thrifts are the ones that are prevalent to getting these Monstera Thai Constellations sick. So you just have to be very diligent in inspecting the plant. I can't even talk today. And I would utilize a neem oil spray. I use a neem oil spray by We the Wild called Protect, which has neem oil spray and some other organic ingredients is that will actually make your plant be healthy and lush and full. So definitely check out We the Wild Protect Neem Oil Spray. I love it. It's almost like giving your plants a spa day, a spa treatment, because what I will do is take a gorgeous Monstera like this, take some of that leaf shine, that insecticidal pest control, and spray it on the leaves, the stems of the leaves, the bottoms of the leaves, with a microfiber glove, to where you can rub that protect neem oil spray in, and hopefully your plants will be protected for at least 24 hours while you have that solution on the actual plant. And you can see right here, Monstera Thai Constellations. It is amazing to be able to see Monstera Thai Constellations at Walmart. It is amazing that you can find a Monstera Thai Constellation and still save money and still stay within your financial budget. Like I said, again, the New Year's, especially the first, second, and third part of January, a lot of people scale back and make sure that they are being more intentional about their plant budget. Hopefully everybody has started the year off right by either buying plants or really assessing your plant collection. Now, this is an interesting Monstera Thai Constellation in the fact that it did not fully split its leaves. It literally just opened a hole for just anything. So like, take a look at that. Very interesting plant, because usually whenever I get a Monstera Thai Constellation, before it creates fenestration such as a hole, it will actually have split leaves before it does that. So really interesting fact that Mother Nature can kind of alter the course of a plant, or even just remind the people that are around that these plants are still readily available, still easy to take care of. I would recommend going to Callaway's Nursery out in Prosper, Texas, if you want to get a hold of these Monstera Thai Constellations. Definitely go to Walmart, this particular Walmart. I just can't get over the fact that there are so many Monstera Thai Constellations. I am surprised, based on some of the plant commentary, the comments that were left on the comment section, that some of the Walmarts that are outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area haven't even been restocked. So I do feel very much so fortunate that I can go to many big box stores, and all of the big box stores typically have the same plants. So if you see a Monstera Thai Constellation pop up at one Walmart in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, just know that all the other Walmarts are going to follow suit. And I just keep going back to this particular Monstera Thai Constellation. Plant Foldies know that I will be doing a giveaway, a free big box store plant. How to get a free big box store plant? All you have to do is follow my Instagram page at Growfold and hit the heart button for the actual official plant giveaway Instagram reel. So stay tuned for that. I meant to do that the other day, is actually upload the Instagram reel, but I've just gotten so busy. And it's crazy how whenever there is, quote, a snowstorm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, for some reason, everybody just wants to freeze and not do anything, and everything is put on pause. And so that was just an interesting aspect. I'm glad that the snow and ice is going to be melted, and it only took about 72 hours. But as I panned away from all of the plants here, Plant Foldies, this is amazing to see that they do have Monstera Thai Constellations. I think that it is an important plant to add in anybody's space. Just know if you get a Monstera Thai Constellation, it is going to require more space, because once it establishes its root system in whatever plain planter you might necessarily have, or something super fancy, just know that it will really size up very quickly, and it will even size up very quickly if you provide them with just a lot of bright indirect light, as well as providing them with a stake pole, moss pole, something to really hold that plant up to where it is going to fenestrate and get larger leaves. And you can see right here, I'm going to take just a little bit of time to show you some more of the Walmart planters. I love the fact that Walmart has really stepped its game up when it comes to some of the terracotta planters and just the planters in general. It is important for me, at least when it comes to my plant collection, to find the perfect plant. And typically when it comes down to a perfect planter, it would be one that requires very, very minimal care. It is also one that is going to have a drainage hole in case I want to plant the plant directly into the planter, and also just to check in on all of the gorgeous terracotta planters. You can see this one right here is by Better Homes and Garden, and this is part of some type of collection. You can see that the plant pricing for these planters is not bad at all, and I love it. I love more simplistic planters, so I'm not as big of a fan of the texture of this planter, but I am a fan of the color of the planter. It got a nice balanced tone about it, and you can see right over here, this one is also another hot red orange planter by Mainstays. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the planters, and let me know if you want to see more plant accessories, plant IDs, whatever. Leave it in the comment section below, because I really do read through each and every single plant comment for my YouTube channel, and I respond to pretty much every single person that has taken the time to comment on my video. So really appreciate that. And you can see over here, we've still got quite a bit of plants and planters to look at. I am a huge fan of all of the pink planters that Walmart has. You can see that the prices are really good. That one is for $7.98, and you can see that they've got that shallow green planter. It's got a jade look about it, and I love that. Just for these shallow pots, these would be good for succulents and cactus, as well as crawling philodendron that like to go crawl across a soil substrate versus actually climbing up a pole. And then you can see right over here, we've got some red planters mixed with the wooden base. So I would just say that Walmart has really stepped its game in terms of very stylistic planters that could fit many different types of plant styling aesthetics. And you can see that there's different collections right over here. This is the Channing collection by Better Homes and Gardens. So leave in the comments below and let me know what planters you like. I'm just gonna walk around here and pick up some planters, and I would love to see what types of plants you would actually put into some of these planters. Like for instance, this one right here with the embellished leaf. This is something that I would put like maybe a juvenile Monstera deliciosa. That would be a really cute pairing for that. But let's go ahead and just keep picking up some planters, and you let me know in the comments which planters you would buy, if you think that the plant pricing is great, and what types of plants you would put in these planters. See that there are many different types of planters. We even have the ones that are lifted from the base. This one is Mainstays, and Mainstays is actually the more cost-effective brand at Walmart. So if you're looking to save money, anything that says Mainstays is going to be the most cost-effective or most inexpensive pricing for that line. Although I would say Better Homes and Garden is still a pretty good price point for a lot of these stylistic planters. I do like the more neutral colors, like the grays. Like look at this one right here. I'm not as big of a fan of the texture, but you know, that really does depend on your plant aesthetics and what types of plants you're going to put in these planters. I'm not really a big fan of the shiny glazes, although I would say this has a nice satin finish, and I do like this texture, and this is only for $6.94, I believe, in a 5-inch planter.
To
terms of the planters, I would also say that the white planters are a really nice aesthetic just because it pretty much fits any type of space. And you can see that we also have some of the neutral colors, and then we also have some of the woven baskets, some of the more natural looking plant stands. And that's another thing I wanted to discuss in my future plant content, is how to style your plants in an indoor space. Super excited to show you my personal plant collection. I am working on doing a houseplant tour, but you can see right here, this is a woven wooden plant stand. Really love the Better Homes and Gardens one, and this one I believe is for $29.97. So in terms of like lifting your plants from the floor, I would definitely recommend plant stands. I think it gives it a different type of dimension, and it just gives a different type of texture. I do like mixing different textures as well, in terms of just like wood versus just like matte finish planters. That they've got a lot of the cute little prints on these white planters right here for $6.48. And I'm just going to pan away here and just show you some of the more traditional white planters. I would say if you had to choose between like a specific color, white planters and terracotta pots are probably going to be my go-to, just because they're very simple and very readily available. And in this last one right here for $22.48, it's another mainstay plant stand with a metal plant stand. You can put a sansevieria or a snake plant, for instance, on the ground and have it lifted up a little bit. Really nice one for $22.48. And that's the thing about spring coming along. You'll see a lot of these new planters, and I would even say that as far as Walmart, to give Walmart credit, they have some cost-effective planters. You can save some money buying their planters here, and they're pretty stylistic, especially if you're going for the more Better Homes and Gardens. And you can see right here, I'm going to go back to the Monstera Thai Constellation number 1, Monstera Thai Constellation number 2, and these are all the Monstera Thai Constellations found at the Prosper Walmart. You can see that this is the Monstera Thai Constellation number 3. Look at that sectoral variegation. Absolutely stunning. And that's the thing about these are plant restocks. You can find monsteras like this, and then look at this Monstera Thai Constellation number 4. Monstera Thai Constellation number 5. So it is my top 5 of all the Monstera Thai constellations you can find at the Prosper location. I'm asking the plant foldies, which one would you choose if you had to buy these? These are for $29.97. It would be very hard to pick because they're all really nice specimens. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you were to ask me, I would definitely pick this one, but I am curious to see why you would pick a specific one. Leave in the comment section below. And then we're just going to go take a peek of this We the Wild product. So I am at another big box store called Target, where I am showing you some of the houseplant essentials. We the Wild actually has a 3-pack where you have the Grow Concentrate, the Grow Fertilizer, and then also the Protect Spray Neem Oil that I use. So these are 3 organic essential products that you can use, and I love the fact that they are readily available at Target. So if you are a Target or a Target shopper, you can get this. And honestly, this 3-in-1 special is really some of the plant products that I use on a lot of my plants if I'm using them in soil substrate. The spray is definitely my biggest favorite plant product from We the Wild USA, just because it has a neem oil spray but it doesn't really smell like neem oil. It leaf shines your plant's leaves, but also protects them from like spider mites, thrifts, mealybugs. It gets rid of a lot of these plant pest, and I really like that, and that is for $24.99. You can see that We the Wild also has grow bulbs right here. I love that as well. So if you need some instant sun, if you need to light up a space, you can buy grow bulbs right there. This is for $19.99. We've all experienced fungus gnats at one point. They've got the yellow strips that you can put near the base of the soil to capture some fungus gnats. And then you can see right here, they have the Leaf Care Duo. So this one actually has the Protect Neem Oil Spray. I love it. And it's actually one of the best plant products I could use. And it's also organic. So if you don't want any harsh chemicals, you can take a look that it has the microfiber gloves that you can put on your hands. So once you spray the neem oil spray on the plant's leaves and stems, you can use a microfiber to actually rub it into the actual plant leaf. And then you can see right here, this is the Revive Thrive Duo. So this one has the fertilizer that you can mix in your soil substrate, as well as a grow concentrate. So that is also made from worm castings, totally organic, but it really does help the plants really become more vigorous in their growth. All of these products I highly recommend from We the Wild, and no, I am not sponsored by them, but I really do find their products to be very cost effective, as well as super effective in just your plant care. So I would recommend buying that, and you can go to Target and actually buy it. And you can see they've got some trellises, they've got a potting mat. So as I've done some of my potting up videos indoors, I actually have a potting mat that's similar to that. But the Houseplant Essentials Complete Plant Care Guide, that one is for $29. I said $29 or $25.99. Really good value, and it is one that I would actually recommend. Yeah, it's $24.99. That is a really good value for it, and one I would recommend. And then the next location we're going to be going to is the grocery store plant shopping off of Kroger Marketplace in Frisco, Texas. So you can see that this is really the aftermath, the second day of the Dallas snowstorm. As always, guys, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video. It definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as following me on Instagram at GrowFolds. I will be doing a free plant giveaway for a Monstera Thai Constellation. Check out the reel once I upload it, and it'll be my 3rd free plant giveaway. But as far as this Kroger grocery store right here, this is a really nice one in the sense that it's very close to where I am based at. You can see that there's still a little bit of snow out here. So we're going to just see what plants they have available at this Kroger grocery store. Typically, Kroger or grocery stores in general have some really cost-effective plant prices. You can get some really good deals for the plants, and you wouldn't really go into a grocery store to do groceries. But now that I've seen lots of amazing houseplants at a grocery store, I tend to go to a grocery store to go shopping for plants, and then I pick up my groceries, if that makes any sense. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. One thing I will say about grocery stores is that they're very seasonally relevant. So you can see that they've already skipped over to almost like an Easter spring vibe. So you'll see that they have these bulbs, these tulip bulbs that are growing in straight hydroponics, so straight water. You can see that those roots are nice and juicy. And if you want something that is going to grow like that, you can actually buy a tulip or a daffodil. And then they also have flowering plants. So if you think about where the house plants are in the grocery store, they're always considered floral items, so they're going to be in the floral department. This one is for $9.99. This is a chrysanthemum, just a white one, really nice looking plant. And as far as chrysanthemums, you can grow them outdoors in a landscape, and what's exciting is that they are perennial, so they will come back year after year. You can see this is a gerbera daisy, another beautiful flower as well. So if you want just some blooms indoors, you can grow some of these indoors. What I would say is they probably need to be closer to a south-facing window or somewhere that gets a lot of light in order for them to really thrive. And then you can just see right over here as I spin around, they've got some more flowering plants. We've got some kalanchoe, some more chrysanthemums. So I'm just going to pick up a couple of these and, you know, wait till the very end of the video to see if I have any more plant finds at this grocery store. Again, for those that have made it to this channel and made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you watching this video. Please make sure you are hitting the thumbs up button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. But you can see with the chrysanthemums or mums, really love that, in the fact that if you want some blooms, if you want it to last a little bit longer than cut flowers, you can just get yourself a potted up plant like this. Plant foldies, you can always go to a Kroger grocery store or grocery store to find Philodendron orchids. No matter what time of the year, you will always see Philodendron orchids, which is exciting because if you want that bloom, that tropical vibe, you can go to a grocery store and buy some of these Philodendron orchids. I do have a variegated form that I'm waiting to get to rebloom, but as far as a Philodendron orchid, you want to give it some bright indirect light. In terms of the soil substrate, you definitely don't want to use soil. You want to use orchid bark mix. Orchids are considered epiphytes, so in the native areas where they're from, they actually attach themselves to like tree bark, so that's where their roots are pretty thick and they're aerial roots. So this one is for $14.99. Really love the very modern looking planter, but in terms of just the orchid, you really want to have them more so on the drier side. Their roots definitely don't want to be overwatered, otherwise it's very susceptible to root rot. In terms of the blooms will last for about a month, maybe 2 months, depending on the care that you give it. And if you're able to give Philodendron orchids a higher humidity level and warmer climate, it's going to really enjoy that, because that's really the type of climate that these Philodendron orchids have. Obviously, there is a whole world of different types of orchids, but the ones that are readily available at a grocery store like Kroger, for instance, would be the Philodendron orchid. And you can see they've got the miniature forms here, and these are for $9.99. So I'm just going to spin around and show you what other orchids they have. I do love the different faces of the orchids. The blooms are absolutely stunning, and they're super cute. And if you want just something like this for your desktop, that's a really nice looking Philodendron orchid, the miniature form. can see right over here, plant foldies. We've got the Philodendron white measure. This one is for $19.99. This is by Mason Farms. I really love the look of that as well. And as far as this orchid, this Philodendron white measure, look at the white streaks that it has. It's an easy to care for plant. It is a plant that I believe is a little bit more of an underrated philodendron these days because they are more readily available at a big box store or a local grocery store. So if you're shopping for plants, a lot of people will overlook that for more of the uncommon or rare philodendron, but that one is a really good, easy to care for plant. And speaking of easy to care for plant, $24.99, you've got this gorgeous Monstera Deliciosa in a 10-inch planter, and I am all about the green forms of the Monstera Deliciosa. You can see that this is the Monstera Philodendron, which is actually not the correct plant ID, but for $24.99, it's a really nice established one. It's got multiple plants and it's already starting to fenestrate. Look at the leaves too. So with a Monstera Deliciosa, if you actually take leaf shine or more so use like We the Wild Protect Neem Oil spray, it would be a stunning plant. It'll definitely be a showstopper plant, even if it's just a green form. And then you can see right over here, we've got some Hoya Carrii, just a green form, although it has some splashes, and this one is not a bad price at all. So if you're looking for some rare or uncommon Hoyas, you would be surprised to find them at a grocery store like Kroger's Grocery. It makes you want to go shopping for plants. At least that's what Kroger does for me. They do have some good values in terms of just groceries and food, but in terms of house plants, they do have a lot of cost-effective plants and plants that would surprise you. Right now, I'm not really seeing a big restock of plants, but I still am appreciative of the fact that they have house plants all year. Even during a snowstorm, they still have plants. I'm pretty certain that within the next week, they're going to restock on plants. The one plant I'm looking for is the Tropic Treasures Aglaonema Red Vein. I know that they had released it a couple of weeks back, and I didn't really want to pay $29.99 for it because typically at Kroger, eventually these plants will end up going on clearance and they end up being for like $5. So I was holding off on it, but there are no traces of that Aglaonema. And you already know that Aglaonema for me are a need. I need to buy that plant today and it's just not there. But in terms of all of the other plants that we have over here, this is for $14.99. We've got some spider plants, super easy to care for. And then we have another type of green philodendron. And I will say this in all of my future videos this year, but we really need to be talking about green plants. We need to try to get them trending. We need them to be more readily available, but more so posted on social media so people will go after the green plants. I really do believe when it comes to the plant market, when it comes to the demand of plants, it really depends on who is talking about the plants, what is being posted on social media, because at the end of the day, social media is a very powerful platform and I would love to just take things back to the basics. So looking at all of these plants right here, we even have a Dracaena Dorado or some type of Dracaena, but this is an easy to care for plant. But you can see Kroger has so many house plants for a really cost-effective price, so we're just going to keep looking at these. You've been chosen to anybody. These are some of my favorite peperomia. Look at that. This is a peperomia jelly. I love it because look at the borders around the leaves. It's got that nice red border. And in order for you to really get that red border is if you provide it with lots of bright indirect light, it will sun stress it. This particular peperomia kind of behaves more so like a succulent. So the more light you give it, the better sun stressing or coloration it's going to get. This one is for $14.99. With the Chinese New Year just next month, you can see that a lot of places are going to start featuring these lucky bamboo, even though this is actually not legitimate bamboo. This is what you call a Dracaena sandriana. So it is a Dracaena plant, although with these types of plants, it is going to require a little bit more water. It is a bit a thirsty Dracaena right here. A lot of people will just grow this in straight water or hydroponics. This one is for $14.99. And then as I spin around here, we've got a 10-inch planter for a Dracaena
Marginata colorama, and this one has all of the care tips right here. I do like that it is a simple and easy to care for plant, and if you are able to provide it with a little bit more bright and direct light, you're really going to see the beautiful margins, the red margins of this particular plant. So if you notice, it's got a very fine, delicate texture to the leaves, and it's one that will get fairly large as well. It can tolerate lower light conditions for a Dracaena, but in terms of the plant pest, it would just be more susceptible to mealybugs. So I always say with any of these plants, regular neem oil spraying would actually prevent that. And then you can see right here, this is a Chinese money tree plant for $19.99, or a Pilea peperonoides. This is one that I want to get. I love the green form for sure, but there is a mojito or variegated form that I am interested in. But I would be totally satisfied with getting a plant like this. This used to be a very expensive plant about 5 years ago, and clearly the market has kind of shifted to where this is readily available. I do think that its easy propagation is what made it more readily available, and that's the thing about the value of prices for plants. Typically, if a plant is a little bit more easy to propagate, the value goes down fairly quickly because there is more of a supply versus the demand. And then you can see right here, Ficus lyrata, $19.99, beautiful leaves. And when you start to look at just the deep green foliage, the veins of the leaves, those are the nuances that I find very much so satisfying, very much so the reason why I want to buy plants. I talk about enjoying our plants and not feeling like we have to water every single plant, or feeling overwhelmed that we have so many plants. The moment you start to take the time to just admire the leaves, to wipe down the leaves, to get them shiny, to just really breathe and take in what your plants are giving you, that peaceful energy, that's when you know that you have a very intentional, curated plant collection. And I am really striving to do that. Things are getting a lot better for me in terms of my personal plant collection, and that's the reason why I'm very excited to do a houseplant tour soon. I do want to start delving into some of my more interior design, plant styling, and just styling in general. So I am pivoting a little bit of my plant content to where there's a little bit more diversity versus just doing big box store plant shopping. Obviously, this is the core of this YouTube channel, is to do shopping videos, but you will see more from 2025, and I'm super excited to share that with you. You will see more plant chores, plant tutorials, and my personal plants, and maybe even my own personal chats or podcasts on my videos. I am part of the Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast. We will be recording and finishing up season 2 this coming weekend, so stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, please make sure you are subscribed to the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel. It is an amazing plant podcast. I am with Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants, and we talk about all things related to plant content and just plants in general. But as far as this Walmart, or the Walmart at Prosper, they did have some of a restock, but this right here, this Kroger in Frisco, doesn't really have a full-blown restock of new plants. It looks like these are the plants that may have been here for a little bit longer, and hopefully when I visit this place this coming week again, maybe they'll get a restock. But at least you can see basic care plants like this spider plant here for $8.99 in a hanging basket. So let me know in the comments, plant foldies, what you think about today's video. It has been kind of a struggle with the snowstorm hitting Dallas, but I am safe, and I'm just glad that we are almost out of it and things can get back to normal. Luckily, I don't have any busted pipes. I really did prepare for this snowstorm. It was just a little bit of a challenge to get to work and just to complete some of the workload that I have been tasked to do. So these types of shopping videos is really therapeutic for me, and that's the reason why I strive my very best to do plant shopping videos. again, Plant Foldies, it has been a fun shopping experience today, even though it has some snow out there, but at least I was being safe and I was able to get you some plant videos right now. As always, please make sure you are hitting the thumbs up button or the like button for this video. It definitely helps me out, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel at Growfold with all the notification bell on so you are constantly updated with new content. This is Richie. I'll see you tomorrow.